What's up, cows? It's your favorite vamp cow back in again with another React Andy. This time round, we have our favorite Democrat, Shoeonhead. Yay! The lady that everybody believes is right-leaning. No, she's just not a terrorist or a communist or a Marxist. But almost everybody that considers themselves a demi now, that pretty much considers themselves like one of those. At least 90% of them, especially 99% of the Democrats. But you know, if you tell them that that's what they are, if you confront them on that, they'll decline it. But anyways, apparently we have another video from her. She made a video about Woke 1.0 2 weeks ago, which apparently, I didn't even know that was a thing because I'm not chronically online. I don't stay on Twitter. I don't look at Blue Sky. I just post my shit and I get off. Apparently, there's been talks about this thing called Woke 1.0, which was the BuzzFeed and Vice era of YouTube, where people were, you know, talking about being genderless aliens and that men weren't allowed to stretch out their legs because they take up more space than women. And then, you know, literally the argument was, well, obviously the obvious argument was, are you retarded? We have a stick and twigs there. Like, how low is your intelligence to even not register that? Wow, you're telling me that when you have a ball and a stick in your legs that it actually isn't comfortable to have them be crushed? Now, I myself, I don't have that problem. Probably because I was born with too much estrogen. But you know, I can understand anyone that does. Well, I mean, I still have to deal with sticky balls. That is still a curse that, as a man, you can never get away with. You know, it's like the same. It's almost like the same thing as a woman having a period, except that happens once a month, and it lasts for me like 3 days. Stick and twig, sticky stick and twig. If it's hot, you just have to cope. Anywho, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is a video about. I'm sure it is a response or a follow up to her previous video, since she is shouting out her previous videos. So let's jump into it.
My last video was about Woke 1, a new phrase coined by leftists and Democrats online that is being used to distance themselves from the terrible PR disaster that was the last few years for the left in America. Nancy Pelosi kneeling in full African garb to honor George Floyd? Why, that was just Woke 1. And how, in my opinion, that was not
That was Woke 1. My brother in Christ, that was even 6 years ago. I would consider it Woke 2.0, but go off, I guess.
Woke 1, and how Woke 1 actually started in, like,
George Floyd, the saint of fentanyl.
2012, 2014, with Gamergate, Me Too, you know, Tumblr era feminism, the whole pre-Trump era wokeness, before it was even called woke. And I talked about how I don't want them to rewrite history and pretend this all started in, like, 2020. After uploading—
Yeah, but history's written by the victors. So let's hope they never win.
That video on Woke 1, I thought I was free. That I would never have to hear the insufferable, delusional term, Woke 1, ever again. I thought I could finally move on with my life. Yeah. No, you move on with their life? No, listen, if anybody loves to live in the past, it's, you know, it's left-leaning people. You know, people like to, you can say what you want about upholding tradition, but at least there's a honor or respect to that, instead of, you know, just bogging your mind down with, oh, 100 years ago, a guy did this and now it's bad. Yeah, that guy's fucking dead. How about we actually, you know, just work around whatever he did or repair what he did and then move on? Oh, no, you have to give us money now because that guy 100 years ago did bad. No, I don't. No, I'm not that guy 100 years ago. I'm not even his kids. I don't even know who that is. Cope. Let me live my life. I thought.
What do you make of those controversial statements I'm sure you've seen? I mean,
Hey, yo! It's our favorite big booty Latina that wants you to assault journalists and assault politicians, unless it's her! Alexander Ocasio-Cortez! Our favorite caveman.
the Thanksgiving dust up, abolished prisons, abolished police.
Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to.
I don't know who that is.
She's moved away from a lot.
Right, she's moved away from it. Of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
That's what they want you to believe, is that they moved on. Things have just gotten worse. Like, the balls, the stupid thing about manspreading. That's what it was. I couldn't even remember the name of it. Manspreading was just the beginning. Mansplaining was just the beginning. Things have just gotten worse. Look at the Gen Z dating pool at the moment. It's just gonna get worse. Unless, of course, more people actually wake up. But, who's to sell what? Who's to say when that's gonna happen? If that ever happens.
Now,
Democrats
as an
okay?
AOC fangirl,
No, they're crazy.
I feel like I am well within my rights to say, not so fast, bitch. I watched these people go from anti-establishment, fighting the man, become the most preachy, buck-broken, neutered, HR.
And then they gain the power. And as soon as they gain power, then they're like, actually, guys, I don't know, man. Now that I have to deal with, like, all the things that I was saying we should do, I don't know if we should do that anymore. We should just fight the man. Now, surely there's someone bigger than me that we have to fight now, but I don't know who that is, but surely there is. Otherwise, listen, look at this problem over here. Look at this problem in a country you don't care about. We gotta solve that now. That's terrible AIDS in Africa, that's awful.
Her department Karens in real time. I remember when she broke away from the Bernie Sanders campaign after he dared go on Joe Rogan. I watched this all happen, and I held on. I held on for a long time. Many would say too long, in fact. But this clip of AOC talking about woke one really solidified.
Kind of crazy. So basically, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was just upset that Bernie Sanders was doing a smart move. Well then.
How I've been feeling for the past few years. In this video.
Yes. Nothing like disowning the guy that is going on like one of the largest podcasts to have ever existed to spread his rhetoric on another platform where he's accepted to be on that platform. Yeah, alright.
I will be responding to AOC trying to walk back woke one in what I can only assume is a desperate attempt to distance herself from the more crazy people in her movement before a future.
No, she's also crazy. She's just trying to hide everything that happened. It's that simple.
Presidential run. Now, while politicians are out here trying to dodge accountability for things that they've said and done, the rest of us are out here figuring out how the we're gonna afford anything. People are getting squeezed from every direction. Rent costs too much, groceries cost too much, everything costs too much. At this point, I'm scared to open my wallet because I know it's gonna be empty. Actually, that's not true. It's full of just random gift cards from 2011 that I've never used. I don't even know what half this stuff is. But thankfully, I have a
I can't stand that. Anytime I have a gift card, I have to use it. And if I can't ever see myself using it, I just go to other people and I'm like, hey man, this gift card, $25. Says $25. Says $25 right there. I'll give it to you for $15. I'm never gonna go to Kohl's. I have never gone to Kohl's in like the last 3 years. I don't think I ever will. You can trust me. I didn't use it. So $15 for this gift card. See, look, it's not even scratched off. It's the code still hasn't been scratched off. There's no way I decoded it. Just believe me, trust me, bro.
Product that can help with just that. So before we get into today's video, let's quickly give a shout out to
today's Ridge wallet.
Ridge. Ridge is known for creating.
I got a big skinny, but you know, Ridge also seems pretty neat. If you are exclusively using like credit cards, the money aspect, like I don't know, I just don't see the money aspect. But you know what? It's fine. Yeah. Give Shoeonhead $11 billion. Give you where's your QR code? Where's your QR code? Okay, I guess code in the description. Use the code in the description on 50 alternative accounts so she gets lay money.
This is the politician AOC and the interviewer are talking about. Francesca Hong is a progressive DSA candidate who recently lost her primary. Francesca Hong has a few
Wasn't this woman? Didn't Hassan Piker like say that she was gonna win and then she lost, if I remember correctly? Hold on. Let's see. Yep, Hassan Piker. He promoted Francesca Hong, and she lost. Isn't that crazy how every single politician this guy promotes almost always, like, loses? And the only guy that didn't, was Zoran Madani, instantly said, yeah, fuck this guy, lol. I hear theories that supposedly that a bunch of the lefties will eventually accept Hassan Piker once they have enough power, but I don't know, man. Every single person that has a connection to him, that has publicly said they have a connection to him, they've always lost. And anybody that, has had a connection to him immediately distance themselves from him, publicly at least, as soon as they get elected. AKA just Zoran Madani, from what I know.
Interesting tweets from 2020. Who among us does not? But most notably, one about wanting to cancel Thanksgiving. Cancel Thanksgiving. Should have done this in 1621. If it takes a
I remember this.
worldwide pandemic for us to realize we should stop celebrating colonialism and the original super spreader event that killed indigenous folks and women.
Hi, as a Native American, I don't give a fuck. Dude, I like to spend time with my family. It's a free holiday where almost everybody has off, and we just get to eat food and talk. Womp womp. Oh no, people died 400 years ago. Yeah, I'm not the people 400 years ago. I'm the ancestors that lived. What are we canceling Thanksgiving for? For the ghosts? You got a Ouija board telling you that all the Native Americans are upset about Thanksgiving?
So be it. Please don't gather for the colonizer holiday. Please do wear a mask. I forget that people actually speak like this, and it's not just like some conservative parody of liberals.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you.
That's how you know how crazy the world's gotten, when you can't tell the difference between parody and reality.
2021, where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef. Bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities.
So, in short, yes. What she said there was yes, but, they always got a pussyfoot around it, and they can never give you direct answers. They can't give you a direct answer and then a follow-up detailed answer. They always have to give the vague sort of detailed answer, but vague enough or detailed enough that you can get the implication.
I love the struggle session they're putting these candidates through, reading their old woke 1.0 tweets back at them, like a dog that peed on the carpet. What is this? What is this? But the quotes and replies from Democrats and leftists on this were even funnier. Is it so hard to just say, no, I do not want to cancel Thanksgiving? Even if you do want to, just lie? Why is she catering so hard to the fringe? Does she want to lose her election? Why can't she just lie? This woman is an optics nightmare. Just say no. Say it was a joke. Say it was woke one. Just lie, for fuck's sake. Just say no. Just lie, please. No, she shouldn't lie, and she's not trying to cater. This is—
Yeah, well, you know how a politician is lying? They're opening their mouth.
What she truly believes. And the people should know exactly what she believes. She has talked about her half-white son, that he gives her a, quote, proximity to whiteness.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color, because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did marry. My proximity to whiteness continues, right? My son is by—
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. She basically disowned her children because she married a whitey. Ah, the tragedy, the horror. She fell in love with somebody of a different race than her, specifically the white man.
biracial. He's half white and half Korean.
I love the hesitation. She's like, I married a— my child is half white. She can't even bring herself to say it. Activists in the streets, colonized in the sheets. Many such cases. Also, Francesca Hong just
never ask a white supremacist the race of his girlfriend.
Hates all holidays, apparently. This woman is straight up Grinch maxing. She's got a hate tweet for every fucking holiday, I swear to God. Except for Kwanzaa. Of course.
The fuck is Kwanzaa? Dude, holy shit. Dude, it's been a while since I've heard of Kwanzaa. What even is Kwanzaa? K-W-A-N-Z-A-A. What is Kwanzaa? Week-long celebration of African-American and Pan-African culture each year. So the African version of Hanukkah? No. Is it Hanukkah? I think it is Hanukkah, yeah? Yeah, it's literally just the African version of Hanukkah. Okay, then.
Why would she hate Kwanzaa? When asked how her long-term vision...
Wait, she hates Kwanzaa? Wait, hold on. I was too busy just seeing the word. I actually had to look it up. Happy Kwanzaa to all those celebrating. What?
Of Grinch maxing. She's got a hate tweet for every fucking holiday, I swear to God. Except for Kwanzaa. Of course. Why would she hate Kwanzaa?
Yes, why would she hate Kwanzaa? Interesting. I wonder if there's a reason why she hates every single holiday except for Kwanzaa.
When asked how her long-term vision of a world without prisons would work, Hong said, "What I know is attainable, and the policies that actually meet the urgency of the moment and understanding the realities of it means we have to ensure that we're funding our
Okay, Kamala Harris, you want to use some real words there, or are you just going to give us a salad?
Local governments, that we're bringing justice to victims." She added, "What may have been aspirational is not primary." What may have been aspirational. So it's still an aspiration. It's still a goal. It's just not the primary one. Interesting. Also, her opponent said this.
People try to call me the establishment. I look at that as a slur, particularly as an African-American candidate.
So, cancel Thanksgiving or establishment is a racist slur. Your Democratic Party, sir. Anyway, my point is, Francesca Hong's old tweets about...
Yeah, you see, this is something that you would have heard parodied during the 2000s. It's just reality in current day.
Defunding the police and whiteness and Thanksgiving. They were being all hand-waved away by AOC as just simply being woke one.
Woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. But if you said woke one was crazy during woke one, you are a racist fascist Nazi. The citation...
Yeah, and now saying woke 2.0, that's also crazy, because, dude, what do you mean, woke 1? Yeah, all we're doing now is that we're just saying that, guys that put on dresses can go into, like, female bathrooms. Guys that put on dresses can take part in the Olympics. Yeah, guys, woke 1 was awful.
The of woke 1.0 or woke 1 is now a common shorthand among parts of the online left to describe and distance themselves from what they view as a more dated or inconvenient aspects of the impassioned social justice activism they participated in during the late 2010s and early 2020s. In 2021, Chai Osi, campaigning for New York City Council, tweeted, "A cis white man should not be the next speaker of the council." When a critic of his on X unearthed that old post earlier this year, Osi, now a council member, gave a pithy response. Woke 1 was crazy. We all got a bit crazy back then. We did some
Boys, we just said some crazy things. Repercussions for my actions? No. But if you say the N-word and you ever said the N-word once in your life ever, your life is over. You shouldn't be alive. Execute that man! Execute order sexy sex.
Shots and got on the bar and took off our tops and burned the city down and got people fired from their jobs for having opinions Obama had 15 years ago. You can't spend like 10 years bullying people into the most retarded asocial political opinions under the coercion of social ostracization or getting fired from their job, then turn around and just be like, that just happened.
Well, yeah, that's what they want to do. That's what they still want to do. They're just, again, trying to make you forget. That's all it is. They're just trying to make you forget of all these things that they've said that they're still planning to do. Because now there's repercussions for their actions. People are actually looking at their old tweets and be like, hey, you said this, and this was, like, pretty crazy. Like, even back then, they're like, no, it wasn't. No, listen, man, we were all crazy back then. It's okay. No, you're still crazy now. You're just trying to pretend you're not.
My career for like a decade has been calling this out, has been trying to tell the left and the Democratic Party that this woke shit was toxic and would drive people away from them. And for 10 years, I was called a racist, sexist, pick-me, fascist, Nazi, every ist and ism under the sun. And now they're just conceding to that and acting like it never happened. And you just expect us to... what? Move on? I've been like a dog chasing a car, and I finally got the car.
Yeah, of course. They want you to move on. They want you to forget. Because again, it's just gonna make it easier for them to get into power. If you do that. If you just let bygones be bygones. If you forgive and forget. You see, I believe in forgiveness sometimes, but forgetting never. Some things are worth never forgiving for. Especially if they've personally harmed you. If somebody has personally harmed you, you are more than rightfully entitled to say, go fuck yourself. You're never being forgiven. if something happens to you tomorrow, if you become paralyzed tomorrow, womp womp, repercussions for your actions. Now, there's very few situations like such a thing could happen. I can think of 3 people who, well, if that happened to, I would not shed a tear. I wouldn't care either. I can't say I wouldn't be a little happy, but I wouldn't be overjoyed and tweet about it. Not like these crazy people. I was just like, oh, that happened? Damn. Well, it sucks to suck.
And I don't know what to do with it. Like, first of all, why as a Democratic politician would you say this? You're basically saying, like, yeah, MAGA was right. We were crazy. Like, okay, what else are they right about then? Even
yeah, a lot. They're still crazy.
From like an AOC fan point of view, this just makes her look completely unserious and makes like the progressive movement.
When has AOC ever been serious? You gotta pay more attention to her, man. She has never been serious. I can't comprehend. The only reason I can comprehend that she is reelected every few years is simply just because she's a reoccurring name and she's everywhere and everyone knows her. That is the only reason I can comprehend her being in office still. With the countless crazy shit she has said across, like, the years. Pardon me.
Look completely unserious, which it is. Why should anyone trust a politician who can get swept up in mass hysteria so easily? How can I trust that?
Never trust a politician. Just never. Most importantly, though, always uphold them. Never trust them, just uphold them to the standards that they have not only set for themselves, but set others for. And if they don't uphold those standards, you boot them out. It's that simple.
Won't happen again. How can I trust in 5 years from now, you won't just call whatever it is you're advocating for now woke 2 and dismiss it as crazy?
I mean, there's a reason why woke 1.0 is called woke 1.0. We're living in woke 2. What?
Free Palestine. Woke 2 was crazy. Like, what do you believe in? Could you imagine Republicans being like, January 6th 1 was crazy?
Sorry, I almost spit out my monster on that. I did not expect a Shoeonhead video to happen today. I got myself a Java Monster. Dude, I love Java Monster Irish Cream. That's good. She almost made me spit that out on that one.
Basically, I said this all on Twitter, and people were like already making videos of it. AOC panics after Shoeonhead calls her. Like, that didn't even happen. Like, I don't think AOC even knows I exist. I love the thumbnail.
You'd be surprised.
Now on this one, Shoe bitch slaps AOC. Who the f is this? Is that Shoe bitch? Ah, yes, the infamous Notorious.
That is some crazy AI generation. Dude, that destroyed her. She looks way too serious. I see the resemblance, but man, that is way too serious. It's like they asked the AI to remove her makeup and make her and give her a very, very stern, angry face.
Shoe bitch, going around slapping women. Every time I log onto YouTube, I'm destroying and slapping and finishing on people. If you didn't know who I was, you would think I was some like psychopathic rapist. And then you click on the video and it's just like, I posted a tweet. Anyway.
You gotta love modern clickbait. I love modern clickbait.
Anyway, back to the point. When a citizen changes their mind on something, that's...
I used to hate clickbait, but dude, I don't know, man. There's like there's some crazy titles, some crazy thumbnails. And I always love to see them, especially like the crazy ones. The one I am currently thinking of in my mind is some guy who was beefing with Saint Tontas. Who would try to portray him as Jeffrey Epstein, and that he was assaulting somebody. That shit was crazy. That was wild. I loved it for the way that I just couldn't believe somebody had the gall to even make that.
Totally normal. That's totally natural. Many things can happen in the span of years. That can change your mind on something. It's perfectly normal to evolve and grow. And it's fine if you're a politician and you change your mind on something, but... And this is a big but.
But you have to make sure that the standards apply. That, they aren't just swapping their opinion around all willy-nilly and, constantly changing. They have to have a reason for why they changed it, and then they have to be consistent with why they changed it. On top of, again, making policies around this new change in opinion, or trying to get policies passed based upon this opinion that they supposedly changed. And if they don't, boot them.
This is a fat ass. If you're a politician and you change your mind on something, I want to know exactly why you changed your mind. When
hey, great minds think alike!
Change your mind. Be transparent. What about woke 1, really woke 2 in my opinion, don't you agree with anymore? Why didn't the interviewer ask AOC that question? Like, what was crazy about woke 1? Trans women are women, DEI, white privilege, defund the police.
That's because, you know, that reporter was probably in bed with her. It's just that easy. It's that simple. I really don't trust any form of mainstream news source. I always go to, like, something else. I really don't care what Fox, MSNBC, ABC, BBC, CNN, I don't care what any of those guys say, because they're lying to me in one way or another, whether it's them omitting the truth or just flat out, you know, telling lies. And also, again, just always throwing softball questions to each other in comparison to YouTubers or independent journalists that aren't affiliated with a big company like the Rolling Stone or New York Times. I don't trust those guys on political issues. I will trust other things, just not politics with any of those big people. Just because the facts aren't always, the facts really aren't really there. It's at best like 60 to 70% right, and then the other 30 to 40 is either lies or omitting the truth.
It's the Green New Deal. Like what? What? Tell us. What? Tell the class. I've talked about this a few times in a few videos, but one example of basically what I was saying is that the reporter didn't confront her on that because, again, they're in bed with each other. Like, they probably agreed that they won't ask her that question or follow up with that question. Because as far as I know, I'm pretty sure these politicians, they have to be given, like, the questions beforehand before they go on, so they can prepare and answer properly for it. Because heaven forbid you give somebody a surprise question and you get their, like, you know, their initial take, their emotional reaction upon the surprise. Me changing my mind. I was way more critical of the police back in like 2020, like borderline ACAB. I was also single, depressed, living in my parents' basement, smoking weed every day, but I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I can tell you that moving from the suburbs to the city, taking public transportation, having a kid, seeing firsthand how bad things are and how bad things can get, actually experiencing the world outside of my bubble is what changed my mind on that topic, and a whole.
And this gets Shoeonhead canceled because she changed her opinion, because she actually lived through, she lived through something changing her life and that impacting her opinions, specifically on the police in this case. And people hate her for that because, well, you're not allowed to change your opinion on anything. Grifter.
Bunch of other topics. So I want to know, AOC and other politicians, what about woke 1 do you disagree with now? What's sad is if this was like
fact is they don't agree. They don't disagree on anything. They still agree with it.
5 years ago, I'd be like, hell yeah, AOC has finally seen the light. Woke is bad, so true. Now we can get real things done, comrade. But it's not 5 years ago. I'm a grown-up now, and this is extremely pathetic. As a politician, you need to be transparent. I'm gonna bird hands at you. Be transparent. The people act like we need to be apologizing for shit our ancestors did 400 years ago. Acting like 2020 never happened. I'm not buying it, sorry. These issues were f***ing, like, existential to these people a few years ago. And I was just like, no big deal. It was just a phase, Mom. I'm just a silly 30-year-old teenage politician. My concern isn't really that Democrats are admitting this stuff.
Now, she was only 30. She was only 30. That's why she had such terrible opinions. Now that she's 35, dude, she's enlightened now. She knows better.
Was wrong and deeply unpopular. My concern is I don't see anything preventing from that happening again. There's literally some assemblywoman in Brooklyn right now running on some woke 1-ass shit as we speak, talking about how stealing should be legal, actually. No one should be arrested, much less jailed, for stealing a tube of toothpaste. Incarceration.
No. You're stealing is bad, period. Just don't steal, because you're not just affecting the corporation, you're affecting the people that are working at that area too. Even if you hate the corporation and what they do, you stealing is hurting the people there. Like, the business is just going to close shop because they're like, all right, there's too many thefts going on. And then you're going to have a whole bunch of people. You're going to have all the people that were working there just be pissed off at the people that stole.
Separates people from their jobs, support service, and loved ones. It perpetuates a cycle of poverty and crime, no matter how much fear-mongering the right-wing media does. These people aren't stealing toothpaste because they have to brush their teeth. These people are stealing things in bulk to sell on Facebook Marketplace. We have food banks, food stamps, charity for poor people who can't actually afford toothpaste.
Yeah, there's plenty of avenues to just get a whole bunch of free stuff. Not to mention, toothpaste is really cheap. You can go to Dollar General, the dollar store, and you can get like a tube of the cheapest toothpaste. And that can last you like 2 months. You can get AIM toothpaste for $1. Last you 2 months. But no. You have to steal Crest whitening. Because you need to have the shiny pearls. That's so necessary. No, you don't need it. You don't need cosmetics. If you just want to have good teeth, just brush your teeth twice a day with AIM toothpaste. All you really need for toothpaste to be toothpaste is the fluoride in it. That's about it. I think it's fluoride, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But like she's saying, yeah, it makes sense that people would steal it just because they're going to sell it. You see, I never even considered that. I just saw it as like people stealing this shit just because they're like, I don't want to buy that. I don't want to pay for that. Like $2 for toothpaste for Crest whitener. No, I need to buy my liquor. I gotta buy my vape pen. Sorry, I gotta buy my anxiety pen. I have to smoke my anxiety pen, or else I'll crash out on the subway. That's what I see it as. It's just people want to explore and purchase all these devices more so than, be healthy and make more healthy choices, or only buying that when they can actually afford it. I will never lay off the fact that I can purchase a week's worth of food for $25. I can do that. You can too. It's not that difficult. If I really need to, I can make that $35. Even then, 35 times 4, that's what? 140? Yeah, if I can figure out a way to spend $140 a month on food, you can too, no matter where you're living. It's not that difficult. Unless you're in California. Or in New York. I don't know. Maybe sausage there. It's like $8 for a 6-pack. I have no idea. I don't live there. Why you live in a city, you're a moron.
If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be, criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin! And it would make everyone's lives incredibly easier if there was actually some deterrent against crime. Yes. Otherwise, what's the point? Why should anyone go to work and spend their hard-earned money when we can just steal? Crime is legal now! Laws. Drunk driving is not illegal on stolen land. I don't think they understand just how incomprehensible some of their worldview.
No, so the point is that they're allowing all these crimes to pass, and they're trying to get criminals to vote. Just so that way they can enforce all the policies they want to enforce, these politicians want to enforce, and as soon as they get them enforced, then they'll actually start punishing these people. Only after they get everything they want, then they'll start punishing those people. But at that point, though, the country's pretty much going to be like a Marxist, communist hellhole, where, 0.001% of America has the wealth, and then the other 99.0 899, whatever, you know what I'm saying. They're pretty much everyone else is going to be dirt poor. And only then, when everybody else is dirt poor, is when the 1% of the 1% of the 1% is actually going to start enforcing shit, because they have everything they want.
Actually is.
So if my daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her?
Why does this person look like Chris Ava Tyson?
Assailant and bring him to justice?
Of course, yeah, of course.
What would it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right.
If somebody is committing a crime such as SA and gain ending, execute them. It's really that simple. Especially if it's clear cut, they just did it for the fun of it. It's not that hard, but no. She wants power. So she wants to have these policies go through, so she's allowing all this criminal behavior to act because this gets all the criminals to vote for her. It's that simple.
Now, which is that we're spending absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing.
What hypothetical? That's the entire idea. That's the entire policy, and you can't explain it? Abolish prisons. Where do the bad people go? I don't know. Like, yeah, okay. In a functioning society, people like that would be forced.
And you see, of course, she doesn't have to deal with all those criminals. She doesn't deal with all the poor people criminals that are committing crimes on other poor people because she's not poor. She probably lives in a gated community where nothing ever happens. So she doesn't care what happens as well.
Forced to dig ditches in a work camp forever. Useless. Sorry, I'm chutting out so hard in this video. I'm in my luteal phase. I have a fucking pimple. I have a pimple. For the first time in like 15 years, I'm stressing out so hard. What the f***? Anyway, despite the Republicans completely dropping the ball right before midterms, surprise! War in the Middle East forever! The sudden walk back about Woke 1 clearly shows the Democrats are still struggling with PR. If only there was some sort of left-wing Joe Rogan.
People think I'm the king of Woke 1.0.
Yo, let's go! It's my favorite dog-shucking terrorist! Yes! Yes! I love him so much!
That I was Mr. Radlib, right? I never was. I have a pretty open mind to unlimited progress, but I also understand how people operate. Like I never did the Latinx.
Fun fact, he said America deserved 9/11.
Like I have been dark woke before dark woke was invented. Like
what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
This is the headquarters of dark woke.
Not the dude who called me emo, calling himself dark woke. What the actual f is dark woke?
What is dark woke? Dark woke is just, Democrats are just as woke as we were in Woke 1.0. The messaging is what's important. It is aggressive.
What?
The entire idea of dark woke.
What? Okay, Kamala Harris word salad. What you just said is literally, Woke 1.0 is the same thing as today. Except now we're more aggressive about it. Or is it supposed to be the other way around where you're less aggressive? So you still, again, they still want to enforce the exact same things. They're just, trying to hide it more.
Seems to be that regular woke was too polite and too wholesome. Dark woke.
Okay. So I wasn't misunderstanding. As far as I can tell, it's the exact same. It's really actually, you know what? Maybe, You know what, Isaac? Yeah, it is a bit more aggressive. You know what? Never mind. It really is more aggressive. So dark woke is just woke 2.0. Got it.
For me is we are fighting for good and for equality and for social justice for everybody, but we don't mind saying F you.
Dark woke.
I'll believe that when you don't look like an alien.
Get it? It's like woke, but we're mean. You already are mean! That's why people hated you! You were finger-wagging, morally righteous woke scolds. The problem was never that the left was insufficiently mean online. God forbid someone say the wrong word, liked the wrong tweet, or failed to participate in the latest virtue signal humiliation ritual. I'm sorry, can we just go back to that Hassan clip real quick?
I have a pretty open mind to unlimited progress.
What the f*** does unlimited progress mean? Considering these guys
communism. It's just communism.
Think progress is like a literal linear line where just more and more people get rights. So like what the fuck does that mean?
No, it's just communism.
File rights,
communism.
you file rights. What unlimited progress are we talking about here, buddy? Because that sounds pretty woke to me. We did so much progress to the gender discussion. We somehow looped back around to little boys liking pink means they're gay. But wokely, no son of mine is gonna play with Barbies. That must mean he's a girl. You people are lost in the sauce.
Mandami's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property...
the more I do stare at his face, the more autistic Hassan Pike really does look. Also, fun fact, did you know that his parents are cousins? Third cousins, I believe. I'm pretty sure. It's either third or fourth cousins. It's confirmed by his uncle when he was interviewing his nephew, Hassan Piker, on the Young Turks.
It's over and impoverish the white middle class.
Beast mode. I love her so much. One of the things about Zoran is that the people surrounding him oftentimes are so much cooler than he is.
I like how in the video where he defends himself from people criticizing that clip, he's like, guys, come on, it was just a joke, guys, come on. In the description of that video, he's like, anti-white racism, which doesn't exist. Definitely not woke 1. All right, buddy. Sorry. It's so hard not to just make the entire video clowning on that goofball. Like, bro was in a suit at a pool party. The man is a cartoon character.
I remember when I used to do that. But I did it just because my brother had a lot of like suit coats in his wardrobe. I wore a suit around everywhere because I loved how I looked in it. I still would if it wasn't so damn hot. I can't now. It's too hot.
I don't want to make videos about Hassan Piker, but you can't fucking escape him nowadays because the media won't shut the fuck up about him. Fox News is just hyper-focusing on him every single day to go after the Democrats because I guess they have nothing else. And then the response to all the Hassan stuff coming out.
I mean, he's just an easy target. That's really it is. He's just free. He's just an easy target, free money.
On the right coming out on Fox News is then like...
There's a reason why John Tectone and More Pegasus, Hirohei and Repsev's Desu, and probably like at least 3,000 more YouTube channels talk about him near daily. More Pegasus pretty much talks about him daily, has almost has 365 videos. You could watch one video a day on Hassan Piker for a year with More Pegasus alone. He's easy content, easy money, because he's just that much of a clone. He's just that much of a clone, a fool, a moron, a Cro-Magnon even.
Left-wing journalists making more puff pieces, taking more photo shoots of Hassan in his mansion, and all these outlets calling him like a terrorist and a communist just makes him sound way more important and like way cooler than he actually is. Nothing hurt.
I mean, he did put a Houthi pirate on his stream and then said he was Monkey D. Luffy. He's admitted multiple times that he supports acts of terror. It's not too much of a stretch to say that he is also a terrorist at that point, since he is propagandizing terror itself. Also, a guy who consistently has like 40,000 viewers a day, but if I remember correctly, I think like 10,000 are allegedly bots. So let's say like 30,000 people. I mean, he still has 30,000 viewers a day on Twitch by itself, with however much he has on his across his channels too. So he kind of is a bit important. Again, also easy money, but he is kind of important.
This dude more than reminding him that he is literally just a Twitch streamer. I don't want the focus of American politics to center around a fucking Twitch streamer. Like, I don't understand the media's obsession with this guy, but at the same time, I don't think Hassan is the best wagon to hitch yourself to if you're the Democratic Party. There are other internet celebrities on the left you could do that with. Like, God, the left really has nobody. He's a sex pest. No, she's
Tim Pool, Shoeonhead, but they won't do that because they're not left leaning enough. Meanwhile, Hassan Patcher is very, 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 very left leaning. To the point, he's basically the lefty version of
sex pest. Damn it. I don't know. There's got to be someone with way less baggage than Hassan Piker. Like, why don't you hitch your wagon to someone like that instead of Hassan, who every time he's rightfully criticized hides behind how he just wants to give us health care.
Death to the West! Let the streets run with their capitalist blood! Ha!
Whoa, dude, you're making us look bad.
Oh, I'm just a little healthcare boy! You wouldn't criticize a little healthcare boy now, would you?
I don't care anymore. I wash my hands of this. There's gonna be like 25 videos uploaded after this, like Shoeonhead bends Hassan over and f***s.
Shoeonhead just finished an Alexandria Cortez.
Like, great, can't wait. Remember that big study we talked about that was done after the Democrats lost the election that showed the most popular Democrat positions were things related to economic
title for this video: Shoeonhead just finished on a dark woke
issues, and the least popular policies were things like abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, and like open border policies. People don't want to abolish the police. They do not want to abolish prisons. They don't want to talk about whiteness or whatever talk to actual workers about them. Like, talk to actual blue-collar workers. They hate this shit, and they hate you. They hate you because you suck, but they also hate you because you hate them. Like I said 500 billion times before, more people would be on board with what the left was saying, or at least like sit down and listen to you if you dropped the gay race Marxist bullshit. How do I know this?
Well, that's the thing. That's what they want to get through. So they're never going to drop it. They're never, ever going to ever drop it anytime soon, because that is exactly what they want to happen. They want the country to become socialist, then they want to become communist. That's the end goal. So yeah, they're never going to live it down.
The DSA and the left and the Democrats, they have to distance themselves from the goofy, destructive, identity-polic, asocial bullshit. And in order to do that, you actually have to mean it, not just laugh it off. But I don't think they can, because this stuff is just so deeply ingrained in socially progressive politics. A lot of this stuff isn't woke one. It's just part of dismantling whiteness and the patriarchy, destroying hierarchies, subverting norms, or whatever the f. That cancel Thanksgiving tweet wasn't just some, like, silly haha woke one bullshit. But you know, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what I've been asking for a decade. Maybe this is a new era for the Democrats. Could AOC actually have changed her mind? Yes, it's totally possible, yes. AOC and I are like the same age. She's like a year older.
Yeah, well, I doubt it, though. With her pattern of behavior, I doubt it. She probably didn't change her mind. She's just trying to lie about it now.
She's still pretty young. 35 is young, right? It's not impossible that in her time
TikTok. Her eggs are going bye-bye.
Being a politician, her mind has changed on a few things. But it lines up suspiciously well with a run for president in 2028. So forgive me if I'm a little bit skeptical. I see a lot of Republicans online like, do it, AOC, run for president. Don't get too cocky. You may be surprised. The American people are an enigma, and we might see a pretty big pendulum swing. As hard as it is for some hyper-partisan brained people to hear, not everyone voting for these DSA candidates are like crazy commies or something. Just like not everyone who voted for MAGA in
Yeah. People are just stupid, and they don't look into their politicians deep enough to get an idea of why they should vote for them. They just hear, you're left wing, you're Democrat. All right, I'll vote for you. You're right wing, you're Republican. I vote for you. People are just that dumb, but not so much anymore. I mean, kinda. It's become a little better since everyone's actually gotten accustomed to the internet and the accessible information, the easily accessible information to debunk other information, as well as people showcasing this information in a easily digestible manner. Like, for instance, all the different 20-minute videos that go over 8 different graphs explaining what this graph means and why this graph is good, why this graph is bad, what this graph means, and you know, why you should care. There's plenty of videos about that. Whereas, you know, before 2014, you didn't really have that. You just had all these different journalists. You had all these different news sites that basically told you, okay, hey, here's this thing that exists. Here's our source. You're never going to check it out, but here's our source in the description. Anyway, this is what this says. Except we're lying. It doesn't actually say that. It actually says something else, but shh, don't look into it. You won't look into it. Don't.
2016, when Trump promised to bring jobs back and he will remember the forgotten man and whatever, those people weren't Nazis. When people can't afford a house, a car, to get married, to have kids, you cannot be shocked when they start looking for options outside of the establishment. Huey Long, one of my favorite politicians, believed that if people had their needs met and were content and happy and had jobs and could feed their families, communism or fascism would never come to America, because people would have no reason to revolt or want those things. They would...
Yeah, I mean... makes sense if you're happy and you know what, clap your hands.
Be happy with what they had. He believed that extreme economic inequality created political instability. And as the economy continues to go to shit and wages don't increase, and retards like Dan Crenshaw respond to these issues with basically let them eat ramen, we are going to see people moving to all different directions on the political spectrum.
Yeah, because of course. I mean, that's exactly why that's exactly why, what's his name again? Andrew Tate. That's exactly why Andrew Tate has such a giant rise to fame. Let's be real, let's be honest, bro is evil, but he resonates with a lot of people because he makes a lot of points that a lot of people can understand, where people feel lonely. People feel like men specifically feel lonely. Men specifically feel like they're being mistreated. And there is a lot of evidence that counter that. Fun fact, a woman can say you SA'd her 10 years within 10 years of you having consensual sexy sex cloth off. Within 10 years, she can change her mind with no evidence that you did such, and you can still go to prison for it. You could. Now, the more likelihood is that you can go to civil court and you can lose and you're going to have to pay your money. But still, that is a fact. And whatever reason, a lot of people never, ever want to bring that up. It's always so crazy. We'd be like, oh, why do Gen Z men never want to date? Gee, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't want my life ruined because some bitch got mad that I'm having a good life with another woman, or I'm just not fucking her. Like seriously, no one ever talks about that. It pisses me off so much. Everyone ignores that very simple fact, or the fact that, in divorce court, it's always 50-50 in America, where men always have to drop 50% of their savings of whatever they earned and give it to the woman, whether or not she was working. Like, it'd be one thing if she was working. But in cases where, your wife has not been working for like 15 years and you divorce her, oh, sorry, all that money that you earned as the sole income of the household, yeah, 50% is hers now. Cry about it, yeah. And people wonder why Gen Z men don't want a sexy sex cloth off with women, don't want to settle down. On top of like the prices of everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Personally, until there's a Democratic Party that isn't prisoner to identity politics or isn't completely cucked by race grievance,
or Marxist as fuck, or communist as fuck,
I'm not a Democrat. And until there's a Republican Party that actually cares.
No, she said it. Let's go. Let's go. She's officially righty. Woo!
about workers and isn't completely cucked to a certain foreign country, I'm not a Republican. I'm trying to look like Hassan. I look like a femboy. Wait, hold on. Hi, my name is Sock. I look like I would be groomed on Discord. What the actual... Alright, I need to get out of this. In conclusion, I do not like seeing politicians run from accountability. I like transparency. If you change your mind on...
Yeah, well, they've been. They've been, and they will continue to be until enough people hold them accountable, especially other politicians. We, the people, need to hold more politicians accountable to then have other politicians hold other politicians, whether or not they're peers, whether or not they're friendly, accountable for their actions, crimes or not. We need to start sending more people to prison. That'd be great. That was good though. Thanks, Shoeonhead, for the free content. I appreciate that. If you enjoy, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on Shoeonhead's video in the description. In short, was MAGA right? In short, MAGA was right. We were crazy. Yeah, actually, that's just the title of the video. Literally, that's quotation marks. She's literally just saying that. What am I saying? Yeah, basically, woke 1... Alright, in short, woke 1.0 ain't dead. Dark woke is basically woke 2.0. Anyone that tries to tell you otherwise, anyone that tries to convince you that woke 1.0 is long and forgotten and dead and don't worry about it, they're lying to you. It still exists. It still exists. They're still trying to get all the policies that they thought that these politicians 10 years ago, not even 10, even 16, 20 years ago, they still want them to go through. They say otherwise, they're lying unless they can give you a detailed and good enough answer for you to consider why that's not the case. And if they actually had a real reason why they changed their opinion, then they probably actually did change their opinion. And if they can't give you a good reason, and if they just do Kamala Harris word salad momento, Ariana Grande, they're lying. On that note, you should like, comment, subscribe on my video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you Vamp Cows next time if he's my next victim. Thank you, Shoeonhead, for finishing on Dark Woke.